Ernest Hemingway. Summary of the Old Man and the Sea. Old Santiago lives in a small fishing village in Cuba and fishes all alone. The last time he was at sea for 84 days, he didn't catch anything. He used to go fishing with the boy Manolan, who helped the old man a lot, but the boy's parents decided that Santiago was unlucky and told him to take another boat out to sea. The old man teaches Manolan to fish, and the boy loves Santiago and wants to help him. He buys him sardines for bait and brings food to his hut. The old man had long since come to terms with his poverty. He was too simple-minded to consider when humility came to him. But he knew that humility came without bringing with it any shame or loss of human dignity. They talked to the boy about fishing and famous baseball players. At night, the old man dreams of the Africa of his youth, and lions coming ashore. The next day, early in the morning, the old man goes fishing. The boy helps him take down the sail and prepare the boat. The old man says that this time he believes in luck. One by one, the fishing boats cast off from the shore and head out to sea. The old man loves the sea, he thinks of it fondly, as he does of a woman. After setting bait on his hooks, Santiago swims slowly downstream, mentally communicating with the birds and fish. Accustomed to solitude, the old man talks aloud to himself. Before, when left alone, he used to sing. He sang sometimes at night, standing on watch, when he sailed on big sailboats or hunted turtles. The old man knows the different inhabitants of the ocean and is very affectionate to them. First, Santiago catches a small tuna. He hopes that there are big fish walking next to a flock of tuna that will like his sardines. Soon the old man notices a slight shiver of the flexible green rod that replaces his fishing rod. The fishing line goes down, and the old man feels the enormous weight of the bitten fish. The old man tries to pull up the thick line, but he fails. The big, strong fish pulls the light boat behind him. The old man wishes he had the boy with him. He could have removed the baits from the other rods while Santiago fights the fish. About 4 hours pass. It is nearing evening. The old man's arms are shredded, and he puts the fishing line on his back and puts a bag underneath it. Now Santiago can lean against the side of the boat and get some rest. One should not be left alone in one's old age. However, it is inevitable. It is night. The fish are pulling the boat farther and farther from the shore. The old man is tired, but the thought of the fish doesn't leave him for a moment. Sometimes he feels sorry for it. The fish, so big, strong and old, must die so that he can go on living. Santiago speaks to the fish, saying, "I will not part with you until I die." The old man's strength is running out, and the fish is not going to get tired. At dawn, Santiago eats the tuna. He has no other food. The old man's left arm cramps up. The old man hopes the fish will float, so he can kill it with his harpoon. Finally the wood goes up, and the fish appears on the surface. It burns in the sun, its head and back are dark purple, and in place of its nose is a sword as long as a baseball bat. It is 2 feet longer than the boat. Alone, on the high seas, it was tethered tightly to a fish as big as he had never seen, never even heard of. Once on the surface, the fish goes back into the depths, pulling the boat behind it, and the old man gathers his strength to hold it back. Not believing in God, he reads the Lord's Prayer. Another day passes. To distract himself, the old man thinks of baseball games. He remembers how he once fought with a mighty Negro, the strongest man in the port, in a tavern in Casablanca, how they sat at the table for 24 hours without dropping their hands, and how he finally got the upper hand. He had fought many more such fights and won, but then gave it up, deciding he needed his right arm for fishing. The battle with the fish continues. Santiago holds the line with his right hand, knowing that when his strength runs out, it will be replaced by his left, whose cramp is long gone. A mackerel is caught on a small rod. The old man sustains his strength with it, though the fish is not tasty at all. He pities the big fish, which has nothing to eat, but his determination to kill it does not diminish. How good it is that we don't have to kill the sun, the moon and the stars. It is enough that we extort food from the sea and kill our brothers. At night the fish come to the surface and begin to walk in circles, now approaching the boat, now moving away from it. This is a sign that the fish are tired. The old man prepares a harpoon to finish off the fish. But the fish moves away. Fatigue confuses the old man's mind, and black spots dance in front of his eyes. Santiago gathers his remaining strength and plunges a harpoon into the fish's side. And then the fish came alive, even though it already carried death in it. It rose high above the water, as if boasting of its enormous length and width, all its beauty and power. Overcoming nausea and weakness, the old man ties the fish to the side of the boat and turns toward the shore. The direction of the wind tells him which way to swim to reach home. An hour passes before the first shark shows up, coming in at the smell of blood. It approaches the stern and starts tearing into the fish with its teeth. The old man strikes it with a harpoon in the most vulnerable spot on its skull. It sinks to the bottom, taking with it the harpoon, part of the rope and a huge piece of fish. 2 more sharks are killed by Santiago with a knife tied to an oar. These sharks take at least a quarter of the fish with them. On the 4th shark, the knife breaks, and the old man pulls out a strong club. He knew that every push of the shark against the boat meant a piece of torn meat, and that the fish now leaves a trail in the sea, as wide as a highway, and accessible to all the sharks in the world. The next group of sharks attacks the boat before sunset. The old man drives them off with club blows to the heads, but they return during the night. Santiago fights the predators first with his club, then with a sharp splinter of his tiller. Finally the sharks swim away, they have nothing more to eat. The old man enters the bay at his cabin in the dead of night. Taking off his mast and tying up his sail, he wanders toward the house, feeling tremendously tired. For a moment the old man turns around and sees a huge fish tail and the glow of a white spine behind the stern of his boat. A boy comes into the old man's hut. Santiago is asleep. The boy cries when he sees his wounded palms. He brings the old man coffee, soothes him, and assures him that from now on they will fish together, for he still has much to learn. He believes he will bring the old man good luck. In the morning, the fishermen stare in amazement at the remains of the giant fish. Rich tourists come ashore. They are surprised to notice a long white spine with a huge tail. The waiter tries to tell them what happened, but they don't understand anything. They are too far removed from this life. Meanwhile, the old man sleeps and dreams about lions.